So thinking about a career change, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. It
Yeah.
can be kind of daunting, though, you know? But we're diving into some strategies today that might just totally change how you look at the whole thing.
I like it.
We're checking out this piece by Nigel Guatriza, Navigating Career Change. And let me tell you, he's got some seriously insightful stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He brings up these two ideas that you wouldn't think would go together at all, like Einstein's miracle mindset, and then Ralph Waldo Emerson's thoughts on, like daily closure.
Interesting combo.
Right. It's like,
Yeah.
how can these things possibly work together to help you navigate this whole career transition successfully?
Well, that's what's so cool about Guattari's approach, He combines these like totally different concepts, but in a way that's super practical.
Exactly. I mean, think about that Einstein quote. There are only two ways to live your life.
Whoa.
One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle.
It's classic.
Beautiful, right? But how do we actually apply that to something as, down to earth as changing careers?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
It is.
Well, think about it this way. Often when we're dealing with a career change, we tend to focus on the disruption, the uncertainty of it all.
Right. All the unknowns.
Exactly. But what if we shifted our perspective a bit? What if we saw it as a chance to redefine what success even means for us? It's not just changing jobs, it's potentially opening up a whole new chapter in your life.
Okay, I'm starting to see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
It's like choosing to focus on the adventure instead of just the risk.
Yeah, exactly.
It reminds me of this time early in my career. I was at a similar crossroads, had this safe, predictable path laid out,
Yeah,
but then there was this totally different field that I felt drawn to.
yeah.
And it wasn't the logical choice, and I
Yeah.
knew it'd mean a ton of hard work and uncertainty. And
It's that moment where you have to decide, do I play it safe or do I take that leap of faith?
ugh, so true.
So which path did you choose?
I took the leap.
Yeah.
I did. And honestly, there are definitely moments of doubt,
Mm.
I mean, I spent a lot of late nights learning new stuff, wondering if I'd made the right call.
I bet.
But looking back, that choice opened up opportunities I never could have imagined. Like if I'd stayed on that safe path, I would have missed out on so much.
And that's like a textbook example of the miracle mindset,
Yeah.
It's not about pretending the challenges aren't there, but choosing to see the potential, the magic, even in the unknown.
I love that.
Guattari actually lays out 3 specific steps for cultivating this mindset. And I think they're super valuable for anyone going through a career change.
Perfect. Let's dive into those steps.
Okay.
The first one is reframing uncertainty.
Okay.
It's about taking that fear of the unknown and turning it into a sense of possibility instead of being paralyzed by what you don't know. Think of it as a blank canvas,
Yeah.
for innovation.
Right. It's like flipping the script.
Yeah.
And there's actual research to back this up. Studies have shown that people who are curious about ambiguity, comfortable with not having all the answers, are actually more likely to thrive in their careers. Makes sense if you think about it. The ability to adapt and learn quickly is essential in today's world. Things are changing so fast.
That's so true. It's like the one constant is change.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Step 2 is seeking hidden wins.
Okay.
You might be thinking, okay, maybe this new job doesn't have the fancy title or the corner office, but what else does it offer?
Yeah. What are the perks?
Right? It's about shifting your focus from what you might be losing
Yeah.
to what you could be gaining.
Exactly.
Maybe this new role offers more flexibility, a better work-life balance, a company whose values are more in line with yours, or a chance to learn skills that you're actually excited about.
Those can be huge motivators.
And those are the things that actually matter in the long run, right? You can't put a price tag on feeling fulfilled by your work. Okay, so we've reframed uncertainty, we've identified hidden wins. What's the final step in cultivating this miracle mindset?
The third step is stay open. And this is where networking comes in. But Guattari encourages you to think beyond your usual circle.
Yeah, interesting.
Talk to people outside your current field, people who are doing things that intrigue you. You never know what spark of insight might come from a single conversation.
I love that sometimes the most valuable connections come from the most unexpected places.
Absolutely.
You never know whose story might inspire you or who might open a door you didn't even know existed.
You just never know.
Okay, so we've got this powerful framework for approaching career change with a sense of wonder and possibility, thanks to Einstein. But remember, Guattari brought up another seemingly unrelated concept, daily closure.
Right. And that's where things get really interesting. While the miracle mindset helps us see the big picture, daily closure provides the practical tools for navigating those day-to-day challenges of career change.
So how do we actually do that? Let's bring in Ralph Waldo Emerson and his wisdom. Finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Why is this so important for someone you know going through a career change?
I think it's important to remember that career transitions, they're often a marathon, not a sprint.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, there will be days when you feel like you're making incredible progress, and then other days where you feel completely stuck,
Oh, yeah, totally.
And if you're constantly carrying around the weight of yesterday's regrets, or you're anxious about what might happen tomorrow, it's going to be exhausting. You'll burn out.
Oh, I can relate to that big time. I've definitely spent way too much time dwelling on what-if scenarios or beating myself up for things I could have done differently. It's like carrying around this heavy backpack full of negativity, you know?
Exactly. And that's where Emerson's advice is so helpful. It's about acknowledging your efforts, learning from your experiences, and then consciously letting go. It's like giving yourself permission to close the book on each day, both the good and the bad, and then start fresh the next morning.
So it's like hitting the reset button each night.
Yeah.
So you can wake up with a clear mind and a renewed energy to tackle whatever comes your way.
Precisely. Teresa actually gives a 3-part game plan for putting this concept of daily closure into practice. And the first step is reflect, then release.
Okay, I like it.
So take a few minutes at the end of each day to reflect on what went well, what didn't, and what you learned from those experiences. Acknowledge both your successes and your setbacks. It's all valuable information.
Right.
But then, and this is the key part, consciously let go of those thoughts. Don't drag them into the next day.
It sounds a lot like a mindfulness practice almost. Like taking a moment to just observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment and then just letting them go.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it. The second part of the game plan is setting small milestones. Big, audacious goals are great, but they can also feel really overwhelming, especially when you're in the middle of a huge transition.
I know that feeling. It's like staring up at a mountain you have to climb. And it's so easy to get discouraged before you even start.
Exactly. That's why it's crucial to break those big goals down into smaller, more manageable steps. Think of it like training for a marathon. You wouldn't just go out and try to run 26 miles on your first day, would you?
No way.
Right? You'd start with shorter distances, gradually building up your endurance and confidence. It's the same with career change. By setting small milestones and celebrating those wins along the way, you create a sense of momentum and accomplishment. And that keeps you motivated.
Okay, so what kind of small milestones are we talking about here? Give me some examples.
Sure. It could be anything that moves you closer to your career change goal.
Yeah.
Maybe it's updating your LinkedIn profile, reaching out to someone in your target field for an informational interview, taking an online course to learn a new skill, or even just spending 30 minutes researching different companies or job openings.
Okay.
Each one of those actions is a step in the right direction. And by acknowledging those wins, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of making this change happen.
I love that. It makes the whole process feel less daunting and more like a series of achievable steps.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've reflected on our day. We've set small milestones. What's the final piece of this daily closure puzzle?
The final piece, and this is so important, is forgiving yourself. Look, nobody's perfect. We're all human. You're going to make mistakes along the way, especially when you're stepping outside your comfort zone and trying new things. The key is to not let those setbacks define you.
Easier said than done sometimes.
It is, but it's crucial. I've made plenty of career blunders myself. I remember this one time I completely bombed a presentation because I'd over-prepared the wrong information. I was so focused on the details that I totally missed the bigger picture. It was mortifying at the time. But looking back, it was a valuable lesson in adaptability and the importance of staying flexible.
You live and you learn, right?
Exactly. And that's precisely what Teresa is getting at. Mistakes are inevitable, but they don't have to derail you. It's all about how you learn from them and move forward. There's actually research showing that the ability to process and release daily stress is directly linked to resilience in the workplace.
Interesting. So it's like building a mental muscle for bouncing back from challenges.
Yeah.
The more you practice it, the stronger you become.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got Einstein's miracle mindset for the big picture and Emerson's wisdom on daily closure for the day-to-day. How do these seemingly different approaches actually work together when you're making a career change?
That's the cool part. Let's say you're transitioning from marketing to the tech industry, for example. It's a big shift, but instead of focusing on what you're leaving behind, you can use the miracle mindset to envision yourself thriving in this new field. Imagine yourself connecting with people in the tech world, discovering incredible online resources, and mastering those in-demand coding skills. That's the power of seeing the miracle in the change.
I can already feel this shift in perspective. And then at the end of each day, you practice that daily closure ritual. Did you finish a Python tutorial today? Awesome. Celebrate that win. Did you get stuck on a particularly tricky coding concept? No problem. Acknowledge the effort, let go of the frustration, and come back to it with fresh eyes tomorrow. It's about finding that balance between big picture vision and grounded daily action.
Absolutely. And I think that's where Guattarisa's own experience really shines through. He talks about leaving a stable job to join a startup, a classic career change leap of faith.
It's the dream for so many people.
It is. And he described it as a roller coaster ride full of exhilarating highs and terrifying lows.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's so relatable for anyone who's been through a major career transition. The energy and excitement of building something new that was his miracle. But he also acknowledged those moments of doubt and uncertainty when things got tough.
Oh, for sure.
And that's where the practice of daily closure came in. It helped him stay focused, resilient, and grounded, even when things got challenging. It's a powerful reminder that even the most successful career transitions aren't always smooth sailing.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I think it's important to point out that career change is also a journey of self-discovery. It's not just about the job title or the paycheck. It's about figuring out what truly matters to you.
Yeah.
What kind of work makes you feel alive and engaged.
That's such a great point. It's about aligning your work with your values, your passions, and your unique talents. And that alignment can lead to a level of fulfillment that goes way beyond just having a good job. It's about finding work that feels meaningful and purposeful.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like career change is less about finding that perfect job and more about aligning what you do with who you are. And that can be a really powerful motivator.
Totally. It's about finding that sweet spot where your skills and passions intersect with real-world needs. And when you find that, it can be incredibly energizing.
So for anyone listening who's feeling that pull towards something new, what's the biggest takeaway from all this? How do we actually start putting these ideas into practice?
I think the first step is to embrace the unknown with a sense of wonder. Remember Einstein's miracle mindset? Look for those unexpected opportunities, those hidden miracles that might be just around the corner. Don't let fear hold you back.
It's like we're explorers setting out on an uncharted adventure. There's a sense of excitement and possibility that comes with not knowing exactly where you'll end up.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to have all the answers right away. Trust the process and be open to unexpected detours. Sometimes the most scenic routes are the ones you didn't plan for.
And as we navigate this journey, we've got Emerson's wisdom on daily closure to keep us grounded and focused.
Absolutely. At the end of each day, just take a few minutes to reflect on what went well, what you learned, and what you can let go of. Celebrate those small wins, forgive yourself for any missteps, and start fresh tomorrow.
It's like having this nightly ritual to clear your mental and emotional clutter so you can wake up ready to tackle the next challenge.
That's a great way to put it. Remember, this is your journey. You get to decide what success looks like for you. So what's your miracle going to be? What's that one thing you've been dreaming of but maybe holding yourself back from?
It's your chance to write a new chapter in your career story, one that's filled with purpose, passion, and maybe even a little bit of magic.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone. There are resources, people, and communities out there to support you every step of the way.
So take a deep breath, trust your instincts, and take that first step. Even if it's a small one, you've got this.
And remember, the path ahead is yours to create. You have the power to shape your own career destiny.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into navigating career change. We hope you found it helpful and inspiring. Till next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep believing in the power of miracles.
And don't forget to celebrate those daily wins.